Copywriting will set you free, whether you're a freelancer or an entrepreneur. Copywriting is the #1 skill. If you can write great copy, you'll never have a problem getting clients. You'll never have a problem making sales. So we're going to do 7 tips today, and I think it'll help your copy right away. Copywriting is the thing that saved me from a life that I really did not want to live. 2018, I went all in on copywriting, and I was like, I'm going to just become a master of this. And since then, we're doing $1 million a month, and sales are the least of our worries. Today's all about 7 tips that will make you a better writer. These are worth hanging up on your wall or writing down somewhere, because a lot of the time, it's easy to forget once you get into that writing zone. It's easy to start getting blocked and start feeling the pressure and then not be able to write anything. So if you have these close by, they'll help you. I'm going to start with the first one, which is people have shameful desires. And I got this concept from Eugene Schwartz. The idea is this, that people do not always admit the reason why they bought something. Oftentimes they'll say that they want to buy something for a reason that's not the real, true, deep reason why they want something. And you need to understand this for a copywriter, because that's actually the thing that is swaying the behavior. You know, let's take a man who's 55 years old and he wants a Mercedes-Benz. There's multiple reasons why he wants that Mercedes-Benz. You know, I'll give you 2 that might be a shameful desire. The first one is that he wants to increase his status in the dating pool. Maybe he's single and maybe he wants to find a girlfriend. He wants to be loved. That's a big thing, the idea of wanting to be loved. But he would never admit that. The second one that he might not admit is he might want to feel accepted by his peers. He might want the prestige of a Mercedes because he believes that people are going to look at him in a different way, in a way that's more accepting. Both of those reasons are probably not the ones that he's going to tell his friends about when he talks about why he bought the car. He'll talk about the German engineering, maybe it holds its value, you know, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like, all of those features and benefits are stories that he can tell to justify his decision to himself and then to his friends. So understanding that people have shameful desires allows you to get closer to the truth as a copywriter. And once you get to that truth, you're in a really good position to win the game, because most people don't do the due diligence and don't try to find that, but you're basically a psychologist. And what you need to do is ask why. So we say the dude wants a Mercedes-Benz. Okay, why? Well, he wants status. Okay, why? Because he wants to fit in with his friends. Okay, let's test that theory. Shameful desires, it's good to have that next to you because you're trying to find that. That's your main goal, is you're trying to find not the shameful part, but the true desire part. And knowing that desires are often shameful, that they're embarrassed to admit it, that's important, because that means that people aren't going to be talking about it, so you're not going to find it. And you need to run a hypothesis with your advertising or your copy to test certain angles, and only that will give you the truth on whether it's correct or not. Moving on, this tip is something I call idiot brain. Idiot brain is something that is best summed up by Jay-Z. And every time I get a new intern or a new marketing person, I always give them this quote that Jay-Z says in one of his songs, which he says, "I dumb down to my audience to double my dollar." And as copywriters, we need to understand that our audience isn't dumb, but they're in a dumb state of mind whenever they're consuming our copy. Like, I would say that reading a novel is a smart state of mind. You're having to actively read the words and you're reading between the lines and you're fully engaged with it. But when you're on social, you got things popping up, you're scrolling, like you're in the dumbest state of mind possible. Having an understanding that when you write copy, you're writing for the idiot brain means that you do 2 things. The first one is you use simple language, so it's easy to understand. But the second part, and I got this from Eugene Schwartz, is you want to depict heaven and hell. And that just means like you want to be dramatic with how good life is with the product and how bad it is without it. You don't have to lie, you don't have to bullshit, you don't have to be crazy with it, but you don't need to be afraid of being too over the top, because that's the state of mind that the people are in. So that's number 2, idiot brain. Okay, tip number 3 is apply the squint test. The squint test is, if I squint and look at the phone when the ad comes up, do I know what it is right away? Or is there too many words? And the squint test is especially important in hooks and headlines. You want your headline or your hook to be instantly received and understood by the consumer. You want to shrink that time of comprehension down. And so you want to make it as short as possible and you want them to understand it at a glance. Pretty straightforward. I'll put 2 hooks on the screen right now, or 2 headlines on the screen right now, and I'll show you one over here, which is the good one, and then one over here, which would not pass the squint test. You can see it for yourself. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, number 4. This is a really important one. Write in the language that your customer avatar speaks in. The reason you do this is, 1, it means that they're going to comprehend everything. The other reason is they're going to be familiar with it, which is going to lead to trust. You want your customer to see your ad as like a splitting image of themselves. So you're mirroring desires, and it's actually their desires. It's all, oh man, what is this? Like in their head, not out loud. They're not being like, oh my God, on the street, what is this? They're just doing it in their head, like they're into it, like it's ticking every box that they didn't know somebody understood. This is all their desires coming through in an ad or through copy, right? So you do that by first understanding the desires, but then also speaking in their language. And when you want to learn how to speak in their language, the easiest way to do it is to go to social comments and reviews and read how they review the product. Read what words they use. I copy and paste stuff a lot of the time, like I'll copy and paste phrases, and it will be better than anything that my dumb brain could come up with. So think about doing that. And if you don't have enough reviews, go to the competitors, go to the big dogs and read how their customers are talking, and steal it. Steal their stuff, just little phrases. Put it into like a swipe file and you've got it forever, and that will be really important. Understand your customer better than everybody else. Communicate that understanding better than everybody else. You win the game. Moving on. So number 6 is understand you're a genius all the time. Maybe you're not, and maybe I'm not, but if you think you are when you're writing, then you can just be free. And if you write from a place of playfulness and you write from a place of love, you're going to do your best work. You're going to be free to do your best work. But if you write from a place of fear, you're going to feel pressure. And that constriction is going to force you to write shit. So if you're trying to write good stuff, you know, it's going to suck. If you try, you just have to be free. You just have to be playful. You just need to start. Understand that almost everything you're going to write is going to suck. And it's only going to be, you're going to reserve everything for your editor. And your editor is the other part of your brain, the analytical part of your brain that goes in and says, okay, this is good. And you do that the next day or something, or a little bit later on. But when you're writing, you're the genius, you're the person that can make it all happen. And just know that Hemingway said the first draft of anything is shit. So if Hemingway, fucking Mr. Prestige, Mr. Top Dog of Truth, is saying that, we're the same. We're geniuses too. We just write and write. Take that you're a genius all the time and write it in whatever words that make you feel free. Give yourself a little mantra and just give yourself the thing that makes you feel free when you're writing, so that you don't feel the pressure. Anytime you're feeling that pressure creeping in, you're going to start doing bad work. So I find the easiest way is just surrender to the fact that I'm going to write dog shit, and then allow the genius to come out through that. Anyway, enough of me calling myself a genius. Let's move on to the last tip, which is everything is an experiment. It takes you so many iterations in this game to win. So if you know that you can just treat everything as an experiment, it takes all the pressure off you, and you start to go on this journey of self-discovery. Like, you're discovering yourself as a creative, you're discovering your creative processes, like what works for you, what doesn't. More importantly, you're learning what moves the audience. What are their desires? What are their frustrations? And the way that you're learning that is through writing copy, putting it out into the world, and seeing how they respond. When they respond well, you're onto something. That's a signal back to you being like, okay, these people are responding to this message. And if you understand that this is the game, then it puts you in a good position to win. So these were the 7 tips. It's the weekend, and it's been a crazy week for us. We were down south and we were on this road trip, and then we came back, and you know, our warehouse stuff is really difficult at the moment. So I've been in this writer's studio giving you informative content for the last week, but there's a lot of stuff happening with our 4 brands that I want to update you on. So next week there'll be a few more vlogs, a few more day in the lives, and there'll be some of this stuff too. A lot of people have also requested to see examples of stuff, and with our new brand Oh Chic coming, I'm going to take you through the behind the scenes of everything on that. So like the creative process, the copywriting process, the advertising process in terms of like what visuals, how we write our hooks, how we edit the videos, how we take the photos, everything will be revealed through that process, but that is coming soon. So yeah, I hope you have a good day, good weekend, good whatever, and I hope this helps you, and I just hope that I hope that you see the power in this stuff, just because it's helped me so much, and I want that for you as well. So see you next week.